As you have a red Protoss player in the top left-hand side from Dragon Kaiser Gaming. This is herO. Taking on the blue Terra in the bottom right corner of the map here in ESL Open Cup Korea 209. We have ByuN. Another edition of the ESL Open Cup Korea, another Monday morning. Spent casting some of the best in Korea. I wasn't here last week, it was New Year's Day, and I had plans, but I was actually kind of surprised to see just how many players signed up, because when I was originally trying to organize a tournament myself on that day, I decided to just drop the idea of it, because everyone was like, no, I don't want to play. Turns out when you give people a choice of multiple days, they don't pick New Year's Day, but when the ESL Open Cup is only on one day, they do pick that day. Who would have guessed? TLDR, don't give people a choice, I guess, if you want to get stuff done. So we get into the middle of the map proxy action with herO. So he's going to proxy 2 gates, middle of the map. herO is going to bring the aggression here at the start of this semi-final. So some aggressive play from these guys at the moment. Everyone is just bounding into a little bit of aggro to start us off. I'm just going to see our 2 gateways coming up right now as well, so we get those ready. First out already on the way out, Cybercore and a gateway coming up, and the orbital and a reactor coming through as well, so a little bit of establishment being made for the moment. Let's get all of this going. CC is going to drop down. The raises once again, a couple of zealots in the Cybercore still coming through. I'm just going to be seeing our SCV and our Proby just going to go get nibbled up at one another, so damage being dealt there. Cybercore is about to be done. Couple Marines coming through. The zealot is still moving forwards, and it would really like to go after that SCV, so would love to be able to catch that in the next couple of moments as well. I'll still trying to find the SCV for a couple moments, then just trying to find a little bit of extra damage. We have the barracks coming up, CC building, a couple more Marines on the way, Stalkers and a Probe continue to produce our Marines. Actually going to be in a bit of trouble because now 2 Stalkers show up. I think defending low ground against this is going to be a very rough idea. And I think ByuN is already paying the price for having trying to defend the low ground. He's going to pull SCVs, he's going to try and send it one more time. He's still building the bunker, he's still building the command center as well. Neither of those have currently been cancelled. Now the bunker gets stopped. Now we're putting damage on these Stalkers, but more Stalkers going to show up. We really need to finish this bunker with Marines in it. I just don't see that happening right now. herO is... okay, we do finish it now, but there's 3 Stalkers still. 8 workers died, and obviously the command center got stopped as well. But herO has a proxy in the middle of the map. This is not exactly something he's just going to comfortably like, okay, transition time. And he's going to drop the Nexus. What choice does he have? But if this game goes on, at some point you're going to be losing 2 gateways. That is a significant portion of production. Is the damage done so far justifying the commitment? I would say yes, because he isn't overly committing beyond this, right? And he also kept a few units alive, which I think is very important too. By keeping units alive, I think he really obviously still has pressure here, and he can keep the Terran player back a little bit longer. If he'd given up all of his units to do the damage he'd done, then I feel like obviously we enjoy this a whole lot less. As that Marine will go down. Stalker's going to come through. They're going to be able to get past the bunker, so they're going to put themselves in a corner. SCVs will pull instantly, and now this is a battle of how much value do we get before these units get cleaned out. The Stalker's still getting chased around. The Adept trying to just zone off the Marines a little bit, trying to tank some of the damage. The SCVs being such a bother. As you can see, though, this is becoming a big issue, although the Marauder showing up is a big deal. However, low HP SCVs are ripe for the picking on the from this Adept, so now the Adepts are going to have an absolute field day because they've got a bunch of one-tap kills available. Now herO gave up all of his units, but this was obviously for doubling up on the worker damage he dealt so far. And with the Adepts in the main base, ByuN is saying, no, I'm never clearing this out. I'm never getting back into that comfortable spot that I kind of want to be in. And herO just going to win this game. Proxy. In the bottom left, we do have our red Protoss player from Dragon Kaiser Gaming. This is herO. Taking on the blue Terran in the top right-hand corner. Down 1 map in this best of 3. This is ByuN. Skinner 2. And obviously, one fast first game is going to put the pressure on ByuN a little bit here. He wants to perform in today's Open Cup career. It's going to be a reactor first from him. He has no initial Reaper or Scouting or so, but it does allow him to then get into a lot of Marines quickly. But beyond that, often then leads into a lot of kind of aggressive attacks across the map. Having more units early for ByuN almost always just means he can find better and further aggression than he would be able to otherwise. ByuN is absolutely the kind of guy to, come through and to try and take full advantage of that. So, going to be setting up for that at the moment. Let's just see this probe coming around on the right. Couple Marines coming through, CC in the barracks coming up as well. Next, about halfway done, the Stargate coming up also. And the probe just nibbling away at that SCV, so a little bit of damage being done once again. When it comes over, probe will take a few shots of damage. Probe will fall. And again, the Stargate's still building through. The Gull Barracks building up as well. CC on the way. Looking good. That's the Roddy. 87130 wears a Bengal jersey and they Hulk smash. Yeah. Well, Wardy Blast and Strongman, what can I say? I can't tell how much I was paid to wear the Bengals jersey, but it's good money as well, Should have made us a couple of adepts going through here, hunting SCVs, hunting Marines around as well, so looking for some damage at the moment. Just have a couple of adepts continuing towards the upper right-hand side. They're going to push forward. The Marines would like to come through as well. Trying to press in here, trying to find a little bit of something for these early stages. As the Marines continue to produce on out, Stimpack is still coming in. He's actually going to dive back forwards onto these Adepts, and looks as though he's going to get the majority of the cleanup necessary here, so most of these Adepts will go down. Oh, I thought he was going to have that one, but the Oracle DPS just made it so that the Marines didn't last long enough. There's plenty more Marines to come again with that reactive first. Marine count should never really be an issue here for ByuN. That's one thing he should have very comfortably in his favor. Just on his side throughout. Like, he's never going to be... It's not like losing those Marines. It's like, oh, that was my only Marines. He had more ready. They were just defending the main initially. He actually pushed forwards again. This Oracle's now kind of here, there, and everywhere because the Marines are just out the front, but the Oracle's obviously in the base. They actually get a lot of damage on the Oracle as we start to chip through it and to try and shove it back. Impact Combat Shield coming up. A few more Marines on the way out as well, so we continue to bring all of that through. There's the factory also just coming up into play for the moment. And yeah, this Oracle continues to move around as take a few moments to get settled. Marines are there again, just going to push the Oracle back one more time. Blink's about halfway done. A few additional Marines are still coming through. The attack upgrade is coming up. Factory producing as well. Marauders continue to produce also right now. The Marines going to split across the main and the natural. And our Stalkers gathering out the front as well. Still got that blink that is not far from being done. And yeah, Starport is going to come up. Nice revelation. Just allows you to know what he's attacking into, and obviously has vision high ground as well, should it be necessary. Just a very comfortable little situation there, essentially. And he is able to get through, and obviously with the blink, you just start to find value throughout, and that is where Protoss really excels. Once they have that blink, they can again just be aggressive pretty much throughout this, and that obviously helps out a whole bunch. As the Bio will come forward there and chase the Stalkers away again. We'll drop one more revelation down again, just keeping an eye on things. Revelation's just so good because you know exactly where this army is moving, you know exactly where you want to move to yourself. Arch coming about, Robo Facility and the Nex are still coming in. Couple of probes getting built up as well. Wait onto that Oracle, a few Stalkers still coming about here. Bio turning back around. And that charge is not too far from completion. Got that +1 attack is also coming through for the moment as well. And we step forward. A couple of these Stalkers already being chased away right now. More Stalkers still going down. A few more shots still coming out. That Robo Bay just coming about here. Gateway is still producing. +1 attack and Observer on the way out as well. And ByuN now is going to activate onto this set of rocks. Just going to be starting to pick our way through this. So knock down some rocks. We open up some space here. And ByuN is going to be the aggressor running up. But force fields are good initially. Does he get rid of that obs? It was very low. That Observer actually lives. So I feel like herO's getting away with all the little things so far in this matchup. I feel like he just keeps having little bits and pieces that just don't quite, like I say, like the Observer not going down, that could have very easily gone down, right? Just little things like that just keep seeming, like I say, going in herO's favor that little bit. One attack coming through, the Colossus still building up as well. Fire coming about, Stalkers being chased back, Zealots and Sentries being chased away too. A few more SCVs going down, and we have ourselves this entire army just pushing on forward. SCVs dropping with this pull, but, well, we're making progress forwards here as ByuN has a lot of army supply advantage. That's typically what you're looking for in this situation as well. As the Bio gets the Colossus too, so the splash damage opportunity from herO is going to be denied, and ByuN looks like he's going to take this semi-final to a Game 3. Unless herO can get enough reinforcements up, but he's down 30 army supply. Some of the army supply ByuN is obviously not fighting units. Its medevacs are fairly low energy to be fair, and Widow Mines too. That might actually be what stops ByuN a little bit, because he doesn't actually have, like I say, as many fighting units as you might think. Based on if you just look at the numbers, you look at what's actually in that army, and maybe there is a little bit of a problem for ByuN at the moment. And so now the Widow Mines get pushed back. Now it's only a 16 army supply difference. Both players are going to be lower on the work accounts, as ByuN has got a third base coming up and morphing into an orbital as we speak. 36 SCVs, 41 probes. The triple orbital coming online, I feel like you can't actually be disappointed about that number too heavily as ByuN. I feel like that's a pretty fine number to be at. Stalkers come through, they get rid of the medevac there, and stop that Widow Mine drop from being effective at all. So ByuN will not continue through. We will see a herO rebound with the production. But again, because ByuN has an orbital up on the third base, then I'm not so worried about him either. This is actually a fairly equal economy game. Maybe even, well, absolutely ByuN favored, because you've got to take mules into account, and mules do count. So when it's equal workers like it is right now, that is going to be the Terran play taking the overall eco advantage, which is okay. I mean, like I say, just the fact he had a third CC was surprising to me in the first place, but the backup plan in case that big old push didn't work out initially. Bio is still coming through. Ghost Gamma continues up. A couple more Widow Mines coming through as well. Plus still coming out. A few more probes on the way. Bio pulls back up to the north, and we do still see Stack Colossus coming around here. +2 attack coming in as well. Viking Marine Marauder, all in production. Orbital continues to come through. All in a moment. Keep on getting this on the go. As our Stalkers start to run up this ramp, a couple Marauders will take some shots. Gonna stand there and fight back. We do see the rest of this Bioforce coming across as well, also looking to make their way over to the other side. This Bio army really will just commit on through. So continue to come across. 7 more Zealots on the way. Colossus +2 attack. Extended Thermal Lance coming out as well. We get all of this on the go. All of this coming through for the moment. Fire's going to turn onto that set of rocks. Stalkers fire a few more shots. SCVs and depots going down also right now. Just going to catch a bunch of these Stalkers. I tell you what, when he knocked down that Colossus during that fight on the natural, I think ByuN really did something massive, because that really dissuaded Hero from really kind of getting splash damage in this game, right? Because then he was like, right, I just got to kind of mask gateway units a bit. But then in a moment like this, I don't get me wrong, there's 3 Colossus still, but in a moment like this, it just feels as though the Colossus is never going to be enough. So you kind of needed to have already been on the Colossus and moving into something else. And instead, Hero's just about had his Colossus count come up to, you know, where you wanted to be. So I think that's one of the big things that ByuN gains from this. And that will be game number 2 in the bag. So we are going to go 1-1. We are going to tie. We are going to go to a game 3 as we try and decide who goes to the right corner of the map with our red Protoss player. This is herO. In the bottom left, our blue Terran from the Shopify Rebellion. We have got ourselves ByuN. These two always give you very entertaining series. I love the aggression and just the ferocity that herO comes into the series with as well, though that proxy 2 gate is, you know, not the easiest thing to kind of come up in your mind and commit to, right? So, like I say, I kind of love it. Something a little bit different, something, you know, definitely a very different approach here for the early stages. Obviously, worked so well. Now, lose out in game 2. Let's see what herO has cooked up for game number 3. Because we watched these two in the Team Liquid map contest finals not so long ago, about a couple of weeks ago now, I guess. And that was a herO victory there. It was a great playoff day, actually. That was a really good set. Again, it's just been uploaded those to YouTube the last few days, and I was like, man, they really cast some great games in those across the course of that, you know? It was pretty sick. There's the probe. He gets a couple of nibbles off. SCV takes a few shots, and we will see against Cybercore, Orbital coming through for the moment. Will we have Spirit games today? No, today is going to be too long anyways. Spirit games should be kind of thinking maybe tomorrow morning or tomorrow evening. I'm not 100% sure. But I'm thinking tomorrow for the Spirit games. I have them all. It's just a matter of finding time to cast them. I do want to get them casted because if I can get more of the playoff bracket filled out, I can start scheduling matches for the playoff bracket and stuff like that as well, which would be obviously just good. And so Adept comes Chrono boosting along here. Just going to have ourselves the next going down over on this side as well, so we get that all on the way up. Let that continue about. Just going to be seeing a robot facility coming through. Some more barracks in production. Command center coming into play. And we just get all of this up and rolling for the moment. So the barracks is going to be finishing up as our Adept continues to move around in the center. Again, a couple of Marines coming around, racks and a tech lab coming into play. We got the robo facility and the gateway coming about as well. A couple of probes still just on the way out for the moment there, as we do have our warp gate. Not going to be far off finishing. And yeah, that robo bay just keeps on coming through. Observer still coming out. We got the warp gate still coming in. And again, the battery coming up as well as a couple of Marines continue through for the moment. Get all of that set up. in these early stages. Fast bio play. Obviously, ByuN will be a pretty dangerous player on the map fairly soon once he gets that stim and combat shield. You got to make sure you're safe as herO. Now, fast robo play is nice, but it's all just a robo opening. What I worry about is if he has no immortal or anything, that's going to be like a one Colossus defense. That's such a flimsy defense, and especially if he tries to go dropping. Okay, I like it more with the Disruptor because it feels like the Disruptor has more opportunities to get damage done, but it's still very hit and miss. If those Disruptor shots don't do anything, this bio army can just stim into this natural expansion and cause utter chaos. If we had a second battery, we're going to make sure, to the best of our ability as herO, that we do not die to this. And obviously, he'll have done this build plenty of times. I'm sure he knows what to do in this scenario. So, we'll see what the Disruptor is. I still feel like a lot of this game hangs in the balance of what this first Disruptor shot looks like. Let's see if herO can prove me wrong, as the bio will back it up. And you got to be careful, because if you drop the Disruptor in the wrong place, it's going to get stimmed onto and it will die. If you if you fire it too soon, then you're not going to be too dangerous. Okay, ByuN didn't actually have stim yet, so it was the kind of right time to go for something of a fight there. Second Disruptor on the way up, and I think ByuN just losing a few units is probably going to be dissuasive, or dissuade him from just going to kind of continue forwards. There's not really a situation you want to keep committing to when it comes down to that, right? As the Marines turn back around, a few Stalkers still chasing across. Those Marines continue to get pushed back just a little bit. Now the Marines turn back around themselves, also trying to see a little bit more of what they can do. Starboard coming up, +1 attack is coming in. The Marines, again, still trying to find a little bit more damage just for now. Light guns on the Forge coming up as well. Prism also trying to come on through. Disruptor shot's going to go. Bang, bang onto a couple of different Marauders right away, so damage being dealt immediately. Marauders going down, Barracks still coming up. Just have one more warp in. It's going to be a sentry brought into play there as well. Thermal Lance still also just coming on in for the moment. Disruptor shots fire, boom boom, and 6 SCVs will go down once again. Some more damage dealt. As we come back around along this side, the Prism still looking for opportunities. Because of shells, +1 attack coming up. These are all fairly important factors also. Let's have any obs. It's going to relocate a little bit as well. Also going to move around, but apparently just gets seen, scanned, and killed immediately. So that is the end of that. The Viking makes sure that Observer does not get away. You know, kind of a big unit to get rid of, because the Observer is expensive. You know, it's a good gas investment, but I always think of it, especially when you're so robo-dependent, having to rebuild an Observer and slow down robo production is like the last thing you want to be doing when robo units are your life and, you know, your life and everything and hopes in this game. So you don't really want to have to stop building the other robo units to replace an Observer. So those snipes are very important. They really can slow the Protoss down in multiple ways. He does stop to rebuild an Obs here. Which makes sense because he was only on one, as Disruptor shot will zone backwards. We nearly lose this command center. Don't think ByuN was ever in too much trouble with that. The Disruptors again do a good job of zoning. We actually get a Disruptor kill on the way as well, though, so that's nice for ByuN, because any Disruptor you miss out on just means a little bit less opportunity for herO to keep on zoning. Zoning, I say it again and again, because that's exactly what those Disruptors are good on in this situation. Because you can press forwards, you can, you know, make sure the Terran doesn't go where you don't want him to go. Because he's afraid of Disruptor shots, right? So yeah, zoning, the key word. And without Disruptors, it's going to be that little bit tougher to succeed in that regard. And now ByuN is going to take a little bit of an aggressive step onto the map also. 2 alongside 1 Disruptor, make it +3. The moment we just get this third base established, we'll see if ByuN finds himself a chance where he actually wants to go attacking across the map at any point. Temple Archives is going to begin. We have a couple more Zealots coming through. The probes are building up as well. And Nexus is over halfway done. And Colossi will work their way through this set of rocks as well. So just going to knock away on that one. As we have an army making their way out over to the left-hand side as well, so you just get that all rolling for the moment. Ghost Academy is about to finish also. Next round of Zealots get warped in. 7 Zealots already coming through, plus 2 attacks coming up. You see this push from herO coming down the left-hand side. You can see the Disruptor coming across there, just going to be seeing a couple of hits continuing through. But herO pushing in does very well, and 20 SCVs going down in the main base is obviously going to help with this success story. We cancel this warp in, decides he doesn't want it. Maybe he just wants to send more Zealots into the front, but I mean, honestly, he could have warped into the main and ran them down towards the front lines. Maybe he just felt like there was too many units there. Now he does warp in just a little bit further back. Maybe he was afraid the Prism was going to get targeted, so he just repositioned that initially, and then he's going to go and deal with it. The Colossus here are going to go down, so herO will lose the majority of his army, but I just don't think that's going to have enough of an impact on this overall situation. So you can see the Zealots continue to cause havoc here, and ByuN has no option but to say GG's, and herO will have some Protoss representation in the finals of today's ESL Open Cup career. So good job, herO, giving us some Protoss in those finals. Thank you so much. That may keep the balance wine as quiet.